All right, let's talk about something we all deal with every single day, money. But we're not going to talk about budgets and spreadsheets. No, today we're going deep. We're going to uncover the hidden psychology, the invisible forces that are secretly pulling the strings on how you spend, how you save, and even how you stress about your finances.
So, let me ask you something. Imagine you find a $100 bill on the street. What's your first thought? Awesome, free money. I'm treating myself to a nice dinner, right? But what if you get an extra $100 in your paycheck? That money feels different, doesn't it? It feels serious. It's probably going straight to bills or savings. It's the exact same amount of money, so why does it feel completely different? Well, that little puzzle is the key to everything we're about to explore.
You see, the answer to that puzzle isn't found in a bank or a wallet. It's found right inside your head. We're about to pull back the curtain on a really powerful cognitive bias that's running in the background of your mind, shaping every single financial decision you make. So what's this bias called? Well, psychologists call it mental accounting. It's this fascinating and totally human tendency we have to put our money into different mental buckets. So instead of all dollars being equal, we sort of create these invisible accounts in our minds, and we give each one a different job description based on where the money came from or what we plan to do with it.
In this mental accounting leads us to create these unofficial categories. On one side, you've got your happy money. You know, that birthday cash from grandma, a surprise refund, or that $100 you found on the street. This is our fun money. It feels like it's just meant for splurges and treats. But then you have unhappy money. This is your salary, the money you work hard for, and it just feels heavy. It feels like it should be reserved for the serious stuff: rent, bills, savings.
And this quote just nails it, doesn't it? A dollar is a dollar. That's the objective value. But in our heads, we invent all these different rule books for how each type of dollar gets spent. And it's one of the clearest signs that when it comes to our money, we are often anything but rational.
Okay, so mental accounting explains why we might splurge with a bonus but pinch pennies with our paycheck. That makes sense on a personal level. But what happens when these little individual quirks add up? What happens when millions of people are doing this in one of the most important parts of our lives, the workplace?
Because this is where it gets really interesting. This isn't just a personal finance issue anymore. When all of these internal money scripts start causing us stress, that stress doesn't just stay at home when we clock in. It follows us right into the office, and it creates a huge collective problem for companies.
And trust me, employers have noticed. Get this, a staggering 9 out of 10 employers say that their employees' personal money problems are having a direct negative impact on their job performance. Let that sink in. This isn't some minor issue. It's a full-blown crisis hitting almost every single business out there.
All this stress leads to a phenomenon with a very fitting name: presenteeism. You know what I'm talking about. It's when an employee is physically there. They're at their desk, they're in the meeting, but their mind is a million miles away. They're worrying about their credit card bill, or a sudden car repair, or just making rent. They are present, but they are not productive.
And the cost of this distraction is, well, it's jaw-dropping. Research estimates that the lost productivity from this kind of financial stress costs companies, wait for it, $8,700 per employee per year. Now just imagine multiplying that across an entire company. You're talking about a massive hit to the bottom line.
Now, of course, what we worry about changes depending on how much we make. For people earning less than $40,000 a year, the worries are immediate. They're right here, right now. We're talking about debt, medical bills, just keeping a job. But as you can see, as income goes up, that focus starts to shift more towards the future, things like saving for retirement or paying for a kid's education.
So, with this being such a huge problem, a whole new industry of financial wellness programs has popped up. Companies are trying everything. They're offering budgeting classes, debt management services, special savings accounts, financial coaching, you name it. It's all an effort to help their employees get their finances under control.
But that brings up a really important question. Are all these programs actually fixing the root cause, or are they just treating the symptoms? I mean, if financial stress is the problem, we have to ask an even deeper question. Where do our most fundamental beliefs and anxieties about money actually come from in the first place?
And to find that answer, we have to go way back. Because for so many of us, our entire financial future was shaped, even written, by the echoes of our childhood.
Researchers have a name for this: adverse childhood experiences, or ACEs for short. And let's be clear, these aren't just bad days.
We're talking about seriously traumatic events that happened before the age of 18, things like neglect, abuse, or just growing up in a really chaotic and unsafe home. These experiences can leave a deep, lasting imprint on our brains and bodies.
And here's the connection. A growing pile of research shows a powerful link between these early traumas and what's called an insecure attachment style. Basically, our earliest relationships are like the blueprint for how we see the world, and if that blueprint is built on fear or unpredictability, it can mess with our ability to trust people and to feel safe and secure long into our adult lives.
And this is where you can see this devastating chain reaction unfold. It all starts with those adverse childhood experiences. Those experiences can lead to an insecure attachment style, and that insecurity can then create what experts call maladaptive money beliefs. Think about compulsive shopping to feel better, or being so afraid of money that you just avoid dealing with it entirely. And the final link in that chain? Poor financial outcomes as an adult.
So now we can finally connect all the dots. We can actually draw a straight line from the things that happened to us as kids all the way to the stress we feel sitting at our desks today.
So, here's the complete picture, the big takeaway. The line from childhood trauma to workplace stress is surprisingly direct. An unstable childhood can literally wire our brains for insecurity. That insecurity then shows up in our lives as unhealthy money behaviors, like overspending or avoiding bills. And those behaviors create the chronic financial stress that so many of us feel. And that stress walks right through the office doors with us every morning, hurting our well-being and, yes, the company's bottom line.
So, after connecting our inner psychology to our workplace performance and tracing it all the way back to our childhood, what does this all mean for you? Well, it all comes down to understanding your own unique money story.
Look, the most important thing to take away from all this is that our relationship with money is so much more than numbers on a spreadsheet. It's personal, it's psychological, and it is deeply historical. To really get a handle on your financial present, you have to be willing to get honest about your past.
So I want to leave you with a question to think about. What's one money story you constantly tell yourself? You know, a core belief you have, maybe that you'll never have enough or that you don't deserve wealth. And then ask yourself, where did that story truly begin?